Hi, 7th graders. Welcome back. Today we are going to be learning about subtracting integers. As you know, we just finished up adding, so now we are moving on to subtracting. So remember, I've been seeing a lot of you not doing the Cornell style notes. It is very important that you guys remember this. We have done examples in the last few times together. I gave you my pictures of my notes, and so now it's really important that you guys remember that you do with how I'm doing. I'm going to stop giving you my notes, but you still have to remember to do the Cornell. So here's a little template that you can use. So remember that line. Okay, so on the top of your paper we have the title and the objective. That line, horizontal line, goes on the top. So let me off to the side here, write title, and then our date, which is what, 10, probably the 3rd if you're watching this, and then our objective, and then that horizontal line goes down, and then that vertical line goes down the side. That's this part right here, okay? So ours is a little bit different, but we have the title, the objective, and then that vertical line goes down. And remember, on the vertical line, this part is all your terms or your vocab words and topics. Terms and topics. So if we're talking about add or subtracting integers, maybe that we can put subtracting on this side. Or if we're learning about rational numbers and I'm telling you that's a vocab word, that goes on this side, okay? And then on this side is the details. Those are the details. And this is what most of your notes is going to be. Details and definitions and examples. Okay? So basically, left side is terms, right side is definitions, and everything else. So I really, really want you to remember that. So then I'm going to start taking points off if we don't do that format. If you have questions about it, let me know. Or if you want me to print out a couple of these sheets so that you can see them. But we need to start taking notes this way. All right. So now here we go. Oops, okay, there we go. So our objective for today is I will be able to subtract integers using the adding and subtracting rules. Okay, you might ask me why adding and subtracting? Well, you will soon find out. So you don't have to write this part down, but what is the difference between negative or 7 minus 3 and 7 plus negative 3? Well, 7 minus 3 is 4, and 7 plus negative 3 is 4. You might ask me, well, that doesn't make any sense. So the thing that I do want you to remember, the only difference that is 7 minus 3 is a subtraction problem, and 7 plus negative 3 is an addition problem. That's it. That's the only difference. Subtracting is the same as adding, the opposite. So I do want you to write this down. So pause the video and write this down. Subtracting is the same as adding, the opposite. This part is very important. And remember, for this one, it's keep, change, opposite. Keep, change, opposite. So if you need to pause the video, do that to write this down. So when subtracting, we keep the subtraction to adding the opposite. I'm sorry, when subtracting, we change the subtraction to adding the opposite. So keep, change, opposite. And then all you do is follow the addition rule. So you should write this down. So step 1, change, keep the first one, change the sign, and then we do the opposite. Then follow your addition rule. So here we go. Here's our example. We have negative 4 plus or minus negative 7. So this is what I need you to write down. Everyone should be writing this down. So here's what our example, that equals, it's the same thing as, so we keep the negative 4, we change the minus to a plus, and then the opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. So now we have negative 4 plus 7. We just went over addition not too long ago, so that's the same thing as saying 7 minus 4. So remember, we're thinking, so I'm going to write thinking 7 minus 4. That's our thought bubble here. Okay, 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Now, what is bigger, the negative 4 or 7? 7's bigger, so that means it's a positive 3. 3 is our answer. Okay? Let's do this one down here. So we have negative 3 minus 7. So we have negative 3 minus 7. So we need to keep the minus negative 3. We're keeping the first one. We're changing the sign, so minus needs to go to plus. And then the opposite of positive 7 is negative 7. So I'm going to put it in parentheses here because it just makes it a little bit easier to read. When we multiply that out, or not multiply, I'm sorry, now we have an addition problem. So now we know 3 plus 7 is equal to 10, and we know that when we're adding two negatives, we also have to keep that sign, so it equals negative 10. Okay, so this is just a really quick informational video about subtraction because we've already gone over addition. So we're going to be practicing this in class tomorrow. So remember to write down 2 questions about this video. Remember to do that. These are 2 easy points to write down these questions. All right? So remember our stipulations, the questions, any actual questions that you have about the video. Maybe I didn't explain something well enough. Maybe you're wondering what we're going to do with this, or anything about the content. Right? Those are my stipulations. Just 2 easy questions about this. Okay, we're going to be going over this more, so I know I only did 2 examples, so don't worry, we're going to be going over this more. I just wanted you to get that down in your notes so far. So thank you so much for actively listening, taking good notes, and I will see you later in class.